I just got a text message from our agent at One Park that said the police came to One Park early. It's warned the sales manager that someone is going to destroy the building tonight. They said someone is announcing a disruption. So that really just happened. So I guess somebody thinks that our disruption is something else. We're not destroying any buildings, but it's going to be a disruption. The way the properties were situated is there was 3 properties on the same block, and the property that was in the middle of the block had a roof deck. So we started up there, and I could actually see the whole landscape of the event from that roof. I could see the catering event pulling up, and the liquor sponsor and the car sponsors pulling up. And that's when kind of some of the anxiety started to set in about what could possibly go wrong. Excited to see what's going to happen tonight. I really am excited to see people's reaction and how people are going to interact, and I'm just excited to meet new people. So, night of disruption. Hopefully, it's a real, true night of disruption. You know, the whole concept of Real Estate Disruptor is to disrupt the narrative, to change how we do things, to show our brands in our own way, and to kind of own that. Getting everybody there on time is always a thing for me. I'm an early person, so I always have kind of some kind of feeling everybody's not there early. What do you think, bro? What's going on? So I'm looking on both sides for Elohio to be coming down with the video crew, and for Vicky to be coming from getting our hair and makeup done to come down to start the event.
We're getting ready, we're getting prepped, we're almost there.
So we all started in really the middle event, the middle house. And then the idea was to walk over from there with the camera crew. When we were walking down to the first property with the whole team, you know, my thought process was, I was talking to Vicky back and forth, was last minute details, what's going on, how many people are in there already, how is the parking looking, what's the plan when we get there. I think we let Elvis talk and talk about the house and his house. So what I really believe the main blow-ups could be were parking situation. You know, people in New Jersey aren't used to having to look for parking. And you know, we had a limited amount of parking spaces. And the weather. With the rain and everything else.
Don't say rain.
Just say mojado. The rain's part of it.
What did you say?
Mojado. I hope it doesn't rain. Exactly.
Then we walked up to the doors, started to see the cars, and that's when, you know, you start to see a kind of vision formulate. And there was a Lamborghini and McLaren there, and I think when I walked up. So we have amazing cars here tonight. We have this address, we're going to have Lamborghini and Porsche. We have McLaren and Audi at the other 2 addresses. And I think how this represents Disruptor is not necessarily, Disruptor is not a luxury brand, and that's not what we're trying to portray, but I'm trying to show people what we can do. Sky's the limit. We can do whatever we want. We can have Lamborghinis at our broker opens. We can show people how we're different, how we're controlling our brands. We can get these kind of companies to collaborate us if we create the right atmosphere to bring them into the market. So we have the control to do whatever we want. We just have to reach for it. So I love cars. I'm a big car guy. You know, I don't let myself buy the type of cars that were there that night because it's a little excessive, but they're beautiful. You know, there was Lamborghini, McLaren, there were your dream cars there, and there were $250,000 cars in the lot. So that sets the tone for those type of properties where you have those kind of cars in the driveway.
What you're looking at here is prestigious, and I'm gonna own one of these days.
You can't put me behind that wheel because
Hell no. We be driving 100,000 miles an hour all the time.
I think standing outside your event too long sometimes causes more problems. You know, people pulled up and they're like, there's no spots left in the lot, where can I park? And then I started to realize the parking was a problem. We get the cars into the garage.
You're gonna help us?
Yes.
You're awesome.
I park over there, like I just went there and I parked right on the street.
Oh man, yeah. Yeah, we have 40 spots reserved here. So, but you made it.
Yeah,
You made it.
I'm happy. I was like, okay.
To put together an event, 3 broker open houses, experience-driven event. It's like those minor details, but these details, you figure out a way to find a solution for them. Number one thing, we want everyone to have a great time. I think that's what we expect, that's what we want, that's the vibe that we want everyone to walk away with and say, wow, that was a great event. Everything else, brush it off.
We
We have Lamborghini here, Porsche, I won condos, and also 2 great, really nice properties that we're gonna go see later on as well. And I think it's gonna be a great turnout.
Oh, the cars are.
Damn, we out here. We disrupting.
It's beautiful, the condos, the views, the design is just beautiful, and just seeing how much work they put into this property.
That if I had distinct moments in my brain, speaking in the lobby was one of them. You know, I'm still not that comfortable speaking in front of people. Like, I have to get started. Once I get started, I'm fine, but I have to get into it. Vicky's like, I prepared a speech and we have to talk to everybody. I was like, just give me the page and I'll read through it. Let's go up to the
3rd floor.
I believe that for all the people I'm collaborating on the event, even though it's built onto my brand and I initiated the concept, it's not really, concept's not about me, and I'm not the only person involved in it. It's kind of a collaborative effort. So it's important for me to bring everybody else that's helped me around up to the same level.
This view is breathtaking. This is one part condos, one-of-a-kind building with a breathtaking view of the entire.
Here we are. It's pretty crazy. The views and stuff are better than I thought they were going to be. Hopefully we don't get 150 people in this apartment, because I don't know if it's going to hold it, but we're going to try. You know, the idea was really to make it like a Broker's Open, and a Broker's Open is an open house with real estate agents. So the majority of the people that were there were really real estate agents or friends of the artist that were displaying their art, but I would say 75% of the people there were real estate agents. There were probably about 150 real estate agents that came through during the night, which is great exposure for the properties.
Cardinal Financial, and this view is beautiful.
Not as nice as my house, but it's close. Cardinal Financial is here and proud to represent.
The view is amazing. The apartment looks great. Super excited about the people coming. It shows a lot of interest. I think it's going to be a big hit for us. First of many for the night of disruption. Looking forward to all the positive feedback that we're going to be having.
Vicky's a major part of my operation at this point right now, and the really her purpose for me is I'm a good creative. I can put a lot of ideas out there, but I need somebody to activate those ideas.
So what was it like putting together the event?
This one was easier than the last one because it kind of was more collaboration. It was easier.
Yeah. Definitely helped delegating and working with more people for this project.
Yeah, we were more prepared than we were last time. Last time we weren't so prepared. Last time it went off well, but nobody would have seen the behind the scenes.
Right. Yeah.
But this was much more organized.
This is nice because the 3 properties give you a different.
You know, and I pick the people that help me and work with me on this stuff carefully. You know, the most important part for me of me as a person and my business and everything like that is my reputation. I'd rather lose money than look poorly. So which means I have to choose the people around me very, very carefully. So I think it's important for me to recognize those people during these moments. So Low Hero's been with me for a significant amount of time now. It's been almost about a year and a half. So I flesh my ideas out for these nights and these events beforehand with him almost always. Whether I send him a note from my phone or I speak to him about it on the phone, this is what I'm thinking. I think when I looked down the street and I saw Vicky was actually behind me, and there was 100-something people behind her following her down to the second property. And that was probably one of the most, not overwhelming, but like happy points of the night to see that many people that's all those people who believed in the vision and are actually showed up for this. You know, because at that point, the people didn't know there was going to be free food and free drinks and all that kind of stuff. They were just there for they were there to be surprised about what it was. What is Night of Disruption? You know, and sometimes you don't know if the stuff he's doing is working, and I think there's moments like that where it's like an aha moment. It's like, all right, I get it. You know, we're getting real momentum. People are really buying into what we're doing. And that's an amazing feeling. I look at those people coming down the street as my team. You know, I almost look at them as partners in all the ways. So when everybody's moving the same direction, it's an amazing feeling. You know, I think that was probably the best part of the night for me. So we had the turnout that we wanted. Now it's just kind of getting in front of people and networking, and this is where the community building comes in. But amazing turnout so far. I'm really, really happy with what's going on, and let's see how it continues through the night.
How do you do? So crazy. So no parking. I mean, there's parking for the house, though.
I just got here. It's an amazing event, you know, a lot of luxurious properties. Yeah, so Ralph hit me up and said, Drew, I'm doing this big event. I'd love you to be a part of it. And I'll talk about my art a little bit. It's All Gold is the movement. It kind of represents like mindset, perspective, while living your life and having fun and enjoying. So that's all it's about, and spreading that message of positivity. A lot of it's centered around gold. So we're talking about how the gold on your neck is dope, but what's more important is the gold in your heart. Drew Chains. You can find me on Instagram at DRU_chains with 3 Z's.
You know, the artists were great. Drew, of course, and Rebecca and Sebastian. Like, you know, that I think made the house. You know what I mean? Having that when you walked in and that stuff being lit the way it was, that really made the house. You know, and I think even more than the cars, that's what gave the event the feel. You know what I mean? The different feel came from the art, not from the cars. The second house became the center point of the night, and unfortunately, we never made it to the third house because it started pouring. So we had a few groups that go down to the third house with umbrellas, but we didn't really make it to the third house. So the second house ended up becoming, you know, the last 2 hours of the night, which was great because it was the biggest house and there was the most art was in it. But Rebecca, who was one of the artists were there, whose stuff was awesome, and she was really, really happy to be there. And a lot of her art was in the third house. So at some point during the night, we shifted her art. We had people go down and shift her art from the third house to the second house because we wanted her to get her shine too. You know?
It's not working in my favor tonight. We just went and carried the work over. And go ahead. Thank you. Of course. Oh no, it's okay. So we just brought the work over. We set it up on some easels. It's not ideal. I spent the whole day over there setting it all up, but it's you know, that's kind of the process of an artist, is kind of working with the untangible and making it happen anyway. It's a part of my process.
I think what I've learned from my first couple events into this event is that stuff's gonna go wrong. Like whatever can go wrong usually will go wrong. So the rain was a big wrong.
Look at my hair. What do you think about the rain? Here's your answer.
No, but you know, it sets the mood, you know, so I kind of like it.
I'm a little bit upset about the weather. I was hoping we would get sun because of all the beautiful cars we have out here. But unfortunately, I mean, I love rain, so I mean, it's all right.
What I realized from my last event, which was my first major event, is that nobody knows stuff's going wrong except you. So it's all going to depend on what you do during that moment. So if you stay calm during that moment and you do your best to fix it or make it right, then everything will be fine because nobody realizes so happening. So the rain didn't end up stifling anything. If anything, what the rain ended up doing was probably a positive thing because it made everybody stay longer. Nobody wanted to leave in the rain. So it was supposed to end at 9, and at 9:45, a quarter to 10, it was still packed in there. And the owner of the house was cool with that. So if anything, it ended up extending the night and it ended up being a really, really good thing. So we turned a negative into a positive.
The property is so good.
I'm glad you guys like it, man.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, the owner of the second house was a gentleman by the name of Elvis. He owns a local cigar lounge here, and I believe it's in Weehawken. But he's built houses before, but this I think was his first design, which was interesting. It's an interesting design, and there's a lot of special little touches about the house, including the roof deck, including the Brazilian marble in the kitchen, and he knows the house really well, and he was really proud of his design. So that was good. You know, it was a prideful thing for him, and he wanted people in there. He wanted to show that, and it was good to have somebody on board like that wanted to collaborate with us and was happy to have us.
We kind of chose the property. It's cool because it's really done in a modern style. You know, even if you look at the outside, the garage is glass. The downstairs is, I think it's ceramic glass tile. The backsplash is downstairs and stuff like that. We brought it from Brazil, and it's the only piece made.
What I've realized about food at these events is it doesn't matter as much as the liquor. That people come to these events mostly to drink. We had food from a local place by the name of Capassos. It's an Italian market, and they do a great job. I believe that most of the following for the stuff has been built up through social. So, you know, through social media. So the people that are in these events, whatever walk of life they're from, they have some interest around real estate, whatever it is, or creative, and they want to network because this really came about through social.
It's a great turnout. I'm really happy for Ralph. He's really disrupting the industry. He needs to keep doing it. He's a game changer.
You gotta get involved in branding yourself. You gotta be involved in, you know, getting on the internet, getting on Instagram, social media. That's the only way you're gonna really make a name for yourself and stand out.
So what's great in those events is all these people get together with each other and they all talk and they all network. And I always see it afterwards that they're all following each other now and commenting on each other's pictures. And that's really what I realized about my first couple of events. Is that's really the biggest plus that comes out of it, the most rewarding thing comes out of it, and the best thing for my business.
I'm just in disbelief on the amount of people that showed up. We have a mixed crowd of business owners, investors, realtors, brokers, friends that came out and showed support for the event, but also great feedback on how just different the event is. It's a very unique experience that we really wanted everyone to walk away with. Just like a wow, like, you know, how did you guys pull this off? So it's pouring, it's raining, we are all here, but I'm just happy. The turnout was great, so thank you guys so much.
So what these events have really become about is who in the real estate community or who's interested in real estate are going to get to meet each other and network, and how can we influence each other? And that's what it's really become about. For Real Estate Disruptor, I believe the future is bright around these events, and we probably have 5 or 6 more planned already that are all based around my ideas, and that these people on my team, Vicky and Elohio, and Tony and Drew and Samir and Angela, and all these people are helping me bring to life. And you know, the way they're doing that is that they're going to help me put these events together. They're bringing my vision to life.
I think we broke the mold as far as how many people we got to a broker open.
It's going to be hard to top for the next event.
Yeah, we're going to top it though. We keep doing better. But yeah, this was amazing success. Even though when you get to the third property, it was really an amazing success as far as really believe how many people are here. More than anything, you know. And I think that from what I'm hearing downstairs is that they're going to get an offer on the house, and one of the artists sold a piece of art. So I feel like that was a success too, because we gave value to the people who participated in the event. So.
You know, the future is bright, and it's keeping me busy, and it's keeping me working 6-7 days a week, but it's with a passion that I'm working with because I'm so excited about it. And we have some ridiculous things planned for the Real Estate Disruptor community in the future, and you guys are just gonna have to stay tuned to see what it's gonna be.